What's the difference between installing a boiler in a caravan to installing a boiler in a home? Anyway, let's get on with it and find out what the differences are. Now, the boilers we're going to be comparing are this Ideal Logic and the Marco GB24. Now, let's start by having a look at the pipe configurations underneath, because there is a slight difference between the two boilers there. Now, under this Ideal Logic, you can see we've got a Flue with an isolation valve, then we've got the hot water, then we've got the gas isolation valve, then we've got the cold water and the Flue with the filling loop, and then we've got the pressure relief valve blow-off pipe here with a compression fitting. So that's what it looks like under the Ideal Logic boiler. Let's now take a look at the pipe configurations under the Marco GB24 then. Now, the first big difference we notice under the Marco is the only isolation valve there is for the gas and the filling loop. There are no isolation valves on the return, cold or the flow pipes. Now, this isn't a fault, because if we look at the fittings packs, so here you can see the Ideal Logic one. So if we look at the Marco one, you can see it doesn't actually come with any isolation valves besides the filling loop ones and the gas valve, but it also comes with the plastic push fit fittings, including the straight connector for the blow off. Now, the major reasons for there being no isolation valves on the Marco, but there are on the Ideal Logic, is, well, basically this stuff, inhibitor. Now, in a domestic property, the British standards and the building regs say we need to put inhibitor into our central heating systems to protect them, but it's slightly different in a caravan. In a caravan, you're going to need something like this, which is antifreeze. So that's the major difference. Now, they're saying if you had isolation valves on the boiler in a caravan, you could isolate it then over the winter months, and then inside the boiler could freeze and actually blow all the parts in the boiler. But if there's no isolation valves to do that, then you will have to turn it all off somewhere else and drain it. So like in the cold water, you would isolate the cold water outside the caravan and then open the drain and drain it all. But your central heating system, it will expand into, because it's mainly plastic pipe in a caravan, into the plastic pipe, and the antifreeze should stop it from freezing. So that's why there's no valves on there. It's not a mistake. Now, another difference on the pipework is the safety discharge valve, the pressure relief valve or the blow-off. On this boiler, we have a compression fitting and we have copper pipe. So in a domestic property, you will use copper pipe as a discharge pipe to get it out. There are some situations when you could use plastic, but it's drainage pipe you would use in that situation, not stuff like John Guest push fit pipe. But in a caravan, they use a plastic push fit fitting and they use John Guest plastic pipe. So how did they get away with that? Well, John Guest actually say for short periods of time with an open end, which this would be, it is classed up to 114 degrees centigrade. Now, in the caravan we're staying in, it's not just that caravan. There are other caravans what we've stayed in also do the same thing. They do copper pipe coming off the boiler itself, because again, you still need that at least a metre of copper pipe to stop dry fire. But in the blow-offs, they all seem to do it in plastic. Now, also in BS 7593 2019, and Part L of the building reg says that all domestic boilers require a magnetic filter. But in a caravan, because they don't come under the building regs or the British standards 7593, they technically don't require one, but it is still advised by the manufacturer of the boiler to install one to protect the boiler from any magnetite. Now again, this just isn't missing on our boiler. On other caravans we've stayed in, they also don't seem to have any magnetic filter to protect them from sludge and magnetite. Now the last thing on the pipework. Now under BS 6798 and the building regulations, it requires that the acidic wastewater produced by the condensing boiler must be dispersed safely. And the primary goal for these regulations is to prevent the pipe from freezing and causing the boiler to lock out during the cold weather. So as you can see here, we must insulate the actual condensate pipe throughout its length, and if the pipe exits out through the building, it must be increased to 32 mil and still be insulated. Condensate Pro is one of the best things for actually insulating these pipes, and in some situations you will also need to run the insulation through the wall if it has a cavity wall. Now this is the termination points underneath the Caravan of our boiler. So as you can see, the actual condensate pipe is just open-ended. It doesn't go into any drain, even though the manufacturer's instruction says it should be terminated into a drainage system. But if the Caravan site has septic tanks, they will not be putting their condensate pipe into the septic tanks. And normally they just terminate them like this because they'll be running on limestone chip-ins. And also you can see quite clearly here the safety discharge pipe just terminates underneath the Caravan, open to air. Now let's have a look at the Flue system, because surely there can't be much difference there. Now when you're installing a Flue, you must always use the manufacturer's instructions. Also Technical Bulletin 152 can help you when you're installing these Flues. Now with this Ideal Logic boiler, it comes with two seals, a black weather collar for outside and a white seal for the inside. But if your boiler is installed at ground level, you will require two, sealing the flue around the inside using something like sand and cement, which will stop the flue from being pulled out from the outside. Also on the Ideal Logic, you are not allowed to have any white part of the flue on show outside. Now they differ quite a lot here on the Flue system. So on the Marco GB24, we just use the sealing ring supplied on the inside of the Caravan. And on the outside we have an aluminium sealing ring which we seal with silicone, and you have to have a minimum of 17 millimeters of the white part of the flue on show outside. Now what about when you're going vertical with the flue? So this is the vertical flue off the Ideal and the termination point through the roof on a bungalow. Now on the Marco there's not much difference. Obviously it's going to be a lot smaller in length, the flue. The only real difference is the weather slate, which is made of aluminium rather than plastic and lead, which the Ideal is made of. Also, the access on a Caravan when you're installing the flue is a lot easier than trying to install a flue in a third floor flat when the space isn't big enough to get ladders or a scaffold up. And you don't have to do this little trick with a bit of string, a fitting, and somebody pulling it up from the inside. But it works a treat. Now let's have a look at the difference in the gas supply. Now most of the gas boilers in the UK homes are fed by natural gas, and they require a gas meter to be able to be billed by the gas supplier. Now this gas meter is normally in a meter box outside. There's also plenty of faults in this meter installation. Can you name them and put them in the comments below? Now a vast majority of boilers in caravans are fed with LPG, liquefied petroleum gas, and the gas comes from bottles. Now before you come at me in the comments, I know houses in the UK can be fed by LPG as well as natural gas, because my house has a tank, and I know they can also be fed by bottles or cylinders as well. And I know there are some very rare cases where caravans can be fed with butane or natural gas. But in this video, we're looking at the norms, which is UK homes are normally fed with natural gas off the grid, and caravans are fed with propane via bottles, but sometimes tanks as well. Now, if your caravan is fed by bottles or what we call cylinders, then you will not normally have a gas meter. But some caravan sites have multiple tanks linked together, and then they will have a gas meter which will be used to bill the owners of the caravan. Common gas bottle sizes among holiday homeowners are usually 2 to 4 47 kilogram bottles, with a changeover valve with an overpressure underpressure shutoff and 2 or 4 pigtails. As well as an isolation valve on each bottle, there is also a main ECV under the regulator with a test point. When the hoses are connected to the manifold on the changeover valve, they should incorporate non-return valves. The bottles should be stored upright on a level, secure base, ideally chained to the wall. These stands are also available if you don't want to attach the regulator to the side of the caravan and it holds 2 of the bottles. The bottles can also be stored in a cage, but the cage must be free from obstruction and clutter, unlike this one. For a natural gas boiler installed in a property, all this isn't required. You just basically need the gas meter, the regulator, the ECV and the test point is all there. So everything is done for you and you will never run out of gas, as long as you pay for it. Now, obviously, if you have a gas meter on natural gas or LPG, you can actually gas rate the appliance and see how much gas it's actually using. But if you don't have a gas meter on LPG, you will only need to work out your pressure drop across the system and your inlet pressures. So what's that then? Now, the working pressures at the test point here on the inlet of the gas supply are different for the LPG and natural gas. Now, for natural gas, we need at least 20 millibars here, with no more than a 1 millibar drop between here and the test point at the gas meter. Now, for LPG, it is 37 millibars, with no more than a 2 millibar drop across the installation. But there are a couple of regulations that do allow 2.5 millibars. So that's a major difference with the natural gas and LPG working pressures. Because these two boilers are new modern condensing boilers, there are no requirements for ventilation, even if the boilers are installed in a cupboard or a compartment. And finally, when you're flue gas analysing, the only real difference in the readings will be your CO2 reading, with an LPG boiler being over 10.2 and a natural gas one being lower than 10.2. Now, that's my quick look at the difference with installing a natural gas boiler to installing an LPG boiler in a caravan. So, hopefully you've liked the video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.